Hello and welcome back to Games Benchmarked. Today we are looking at NVIDIA's Knight in the Shining Armor, or GTX 1650 Super. We will benchmark this graphics card against previous generations, arguably, most important graphics card GTX 1066GB. Both cards have 1280 CUDA cores. Where 1060 is ahead, is VRAM. It offers 6GB, while Turing counterpart only 4GB. But 1650 is using GDDR6 memory, which is significantly faster, so it should equalize Battleground somewhat. In raw memory speed it is 12 gigabits per second versus 8. Both cards run at very similar boost clocks, around 1850 MHz. Pricing for used 1060 is still kind of high, around $160, while new 1650 Super costs $170 to $180, so around 5 to 10% more expensive. For me to purchase 1060 it should be around 20% faster, so let's get to the benchmarks to find out. Raw gameplay footage is captured with graphics card running the game, so there is small performance penalty. But I have provided charts at the end of each game, where numbers were gathered without recording. I have although included 1060 overclocked results, just for reference. If you want to see how well 1650 overclocks, it will be one of my next videos, so consider subscribing to not miss out on that. All games are running at 1080p and high or ultra settings. First game is Witcher 3. 1650 Super scored 70 FPS, while stock 1060 scored 65 FPS, but when overclocked 1060 scored 75 FPS, so 1650 Super lands just in the middle between stock and overclocked 1060. Second game is Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order. 1650 Super lost to both stock and overclocked 1060. 65 FPS versus 68 versus 77.
There's got to be more to these ruins. A Maya pyramid inside some sort of cave.
Come into the ruins. Should be far enough out of earshot.
No, please. Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
Would you get it over with already? They want us back ASAP.
Next game is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Decisive victory for 1650 Super, 77 FPS versus 67. Only when overclocked 1060 can close the gap, and basically scoring equal, 1 FPS I consider margin of error and I do not really count as a victory.
Targets are up, get to work. Search inside the buildings for weapons and ammo. Listen for the hum of nearby supply boxes. searching the building until you find a better weapon. Good work. Red dots on the minimap show the location of nearby enemies. Now hunt them down. Well done. The upper right part of the HUD shows how many enemies remain. Grab some armor plates. Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Another pretty decisive victory for 1650 Super, 81 FPS versus 73 FPS. Overclocking 1060 helps a lot, now is faster scoring 85 FPS.
Don't get between me and my gun, heretic!
Borderlands 3 is one of the most taxing games in my test suite. It requires a lot of graphics card, despite its graphic style. So, 1650 Super got 49 FPS beating stock 1060, but losing to overclocked 1060 by 3 FPS.
Above you.
I see you.
Well, we can alert them now. Okay, just tell us who to shoot.
Toss a frag! Close it up!
Gears of War 5 is running very similar on both graphic cards, 54 and 55 FPS. Overclocked 1060 managed to pull ahead, scoring 59 FPS.
Howdy. Hey, move it!
Next game is Red Dead Redemption 2. Another taxing game. 1060 gets really destroyed in this game, so much, it is not even funny. It is 26 versus 46 FPS. It is entire generation and Terror 2 difference. If you want to play Red Dead Redemption, then 1650 Super is really a no-brainer.
Yes, I must say, I'm rather partial to this valley. Take air for one. Makes your head swim. Never smelled air like this in my life. I bet if we spend a week there, it won't just cure Anna. It'll make Colonel grow his feet back. Damn, this is one bumpy ride. The rails are all bent. The whole track seems to be fixing to slide down. I sure hope it can hold our weight. Let's hail the Aurora and tell them to take the other road. Come in, Aurora. This is forward recon. Do you read? Over.
Aurora here. Reading you loud and clear. Over.
Colonel, sir. This track won't hold the Aurora. Take the main one. Over.
I see. This one requires some repairs. These will hold us back. Regardless, the plan stands. We rendezvous at the dam. How is the general situation there? Over.
The general situation is completely awesome, Colonel. Sir.
Last game is Metro Exodus. It is very close between 1650 Super and 1060. 68 FPS versus 66 FPS, so almost a draw. Overclocked 1060 pulls ahead though, scoring 74 FPS. So it is time to sum it up. On average 1650 Super scored 64 FPS. Which means it is about 9% faster than stock 1060. But, overclocked 1060 is still ahead by 3%. Overclocked 1060 scored 66 FPS while stock 1650 Super got 64. Only game where 1060 wins is Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, in rest of the game 1650 is victorious. With current pricing in mind, 1650 Super is a no-brainer. You get new graphics card, which is faster and although costs almost the same. Cost per frame chart supports my conclusion. 1060 costs $3.08 per frame while 1650 Super costs $3.04. But what about RX 570 and RX 580? AMD counterparts are still a better value if you just need new graphics card. But what about when you are building new computer? I put together a quick PC parts list, with 1650 total cost is $743, but with RX 580 it would be around $700. If we do quick math, it is 7% cheaper while being 5% faster and you get a new graphics card. So, 1650 Super is indeed best entry-level gaming card, conditionally even beating AMD RX 570 and RX 580 in value. In performance 1650 Super victory is non-conditional. I would love to hear what you guys think about my value propositions. Do you although agree that 1650 Super is best budget card, if considering current pricing in USA? Thanks for watching and staying until the end. If after watching this review you are interested into purchasing 1650 Super, you can do it via my Amazon affiliate links. It will not cost you anything but would tremendously help the channel. If you do not want to miss my next video, consider subscribing and hit the bell icon, so YouTube notifies you. Stay safe, keep playing video games and see you next time.